This is an I Am Listening exclusive podcast.
I'm Numi Gildert.
I'm Harriet Taylor.
And you're listening to Tech Girl Energy, the weekly debrief.
Our picks of this week's tech headlines.
And what we think of them.
We're aiming for 50% informative, 50% fun.
Let's dive in.
Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Tech Girl Energy, the weekly debrief.
Hi.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really, really good. I'm excited to get stuck into this week's episode.
Yes, me too. It's our first, themed episode.
I know. And it's one of my favourite themes, wearable tech.
And fashion.
What you want, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we thought, because we've had all the fashion weeks, we've had New York, London, Milan, Paris fashion weeks happening right now. We thought, why not dive into the tech stories of the week linked to fashion?
Exactly. And I think there's actually some quite interesting stuff when you look into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes after wearables, there's not much movement. You don't really hear much. But if you actually look at it, there is. There definitely is.
Yeah, I think there's just sometimes there's a lot of stuff going on, but it takes a while to get to market. So it looks like it's slow, but if you delve deeper, you can see the kind of research that's happening, the proof of concepts.
Yeah, and where sort of the trends are heading. So I think on that note, should we start?
Yes. So Chanel have ventured into wearable tech. They have announced their first wearable technology design is called the Premier Sound Watch. To describe it, if you imagine a long chain necklace, that kind of typical Chanel, you've got the gold link, you've got the leather strap through that's iconic for their handbags. That kind of necklace, it has a watch on it, a little square face watch, and integrated headphones.
Oh my gosh, I'm just looking at the photo now, and that is an interesting one, integrated headphones. I wonder why they decided to run with that, if it was more of an artistic sort of design direction or whether there was user testing behind it.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine many sort of fashion houses use user testing. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm really interested about it as well, because when I first saw it, I thought, okay, have Chanel decided to make a smartwatch? Because we have seen before brands, try and make their own smartwatches. Tag Heuer have the Tag Heuer Connected. So when I first saw Chanel have made wearable tech, I was like, okay, here we go. But it's interesting that the watch just seems to be a normal watch. It's just part of the necklace. The actual technology part is that it's headphones kind of disguised as a necklace, which I don't think I've ever seen before.
No, but I mean, right, hear me out. This might be a bit of a wild take, but you know what? I think it's more older people that wear this. But those glasses that are on chains?
Yes.
And you end up with your glasses around your neck?
Yes.
Do you think they're trying to do that with the headphones? Because I guess there's a lot of the more recent headphones that have been launched are the type of bud style where they're not really connected to each other. So these are headphones actually connected to a necklace. I guess you're not going to lose them. They are Chanel, so you probably do want to keep them on. I'm just trying to see where they're going with this. Why as well? And are they going to look cute when you don't have the headphones in your ear? Are the headphones noise cancelling? What do the headphones provide that AirPods might not provide?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
It is interesting. It looked like the actual headphone style is a bud style, but obviously they're wired. So if you think about the iPhone headphones, kind of that look, but they're gold and black with a Chanel logo on it as well, so they look very classy.
What do they do with the colorways?
I think a white and silver would look pretty good.
Cute.
They have teamed up with Master and Dynamic, the audio specialist, for the headphones. I've never used Master and Dynamic headphones, so I personally can't speak on the quality. But
yeah, I've never used them either, to be fair. I don't think I've heard of them before. Maybe they are a big player and I just don't know anymore.
But it could be that maybe working with Chanel, it breaks them onto the wider audio market. So I would love to test it out and see, if the audio quality is good, are you getting that kind of unique design, fashion item and not sacrificing on quality? Because I think sometimes that can happen when brands try and branch out into wearable technology. That first step, you do end up sacrificing on the tech sometimes.
Yeah. You'd like to think they don't, considering the price point is about 14,800 euros. So you'd like to think the tech would be sound.
Yeah.
You never know, do you? You never know.
But I think it's a really interesting move. And I'm kind of here for it, of doing more interesting, non-conventional things, of bringing technology into fashion. So I'm kind of here for this, because I just didn't expect it.
No, I didn't either. And I love to see it because, I love a bit of fashion. I love a bit of tech. And I think the wearable tech space, I think every few years it turns into a buzzword like wearable tech this, wearable tech that, but nothing really happens. And I don't know, I might have to do a bit of research after this, but I don't think many big sort of fashion players have really got involved in wearable tech in the past. So could this be a game changer? Could this make other brands wake up and decide to get involved in wearable tech? I don't know. I like it. It's different. It's cute. Would I wear it? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing, because I do think it is cute, but can't see on the website what it looks like when the headphones are not in. Like, are they just kind of like hanging around the necklace? Can you unplug them so you can just have a necklace, or you can also have it with the headphones?
I found an actual sort of image of what this looks like, and I will also put it on screen for anyone that's going to find us on social media, which you should all be doing.
At Tech Girl Energy.
Instagram, TikTok. And you're right, it is wired. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to revert what I said.
Okay.
And I don't think these are going to take off, because this is 2024. Everyone is using wireless headphones. Who wants to wear a necklace that has a wire coming out of it to go to your device? I think it's not really a necklace, it's just to make sure you don't lose your headphones. Honestly, that's all I can think.
I do think that there is a wired headphone renaissance. I sometimes use my wired headphones, usually when I've forgotten to charge my AirPods. So, do you know, they've got my vote.
But what do you do with that wire though? Like when you're not using your headphones and you just want this cute little Chanel necklace on, you've just got like a wire dangling down after that?
I think you have to just wear black so it kind of camouflages.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything else about it because I think it's a bold, interesting choice. I wish more big fashion houses get involved in wearable tech, because I think the more they get involved, the more it'll trickle down. I don't know if you've seen The Devil Wears Prada, and the part of the film where she's talking about is cerulean blue.
Yeah.
So how I'm thinking is, if they're choosing to decide that wearable tech is in, does this mean that this is the start of something?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Going with this.
I do. Yeah. Maybe Primark will start selling a headphone necklace in 5 years' time.
They've probably already been doing that, to be honest. Maybe it's going the opposite way now.
Let's move on from that to something a little bit more cutting edge, really exciting, debuted in Seoul Fashion Week. Tell me about the LG Display stretchable screen.
Yes, so during Seoul Fashion Week, LG Display, they dropped a new innovation when it comes to flexible and transparent displays. Basically, they came up with a transparent display. And according to LG Display, the stretchable displays can be freely stretched, folded and twisted.
So it's like a screen that you can manipulate like a fabric.
Pretty much. So it's a long stretch from the initial tech demo that LG did in 2022 when they showed off their stretchable displays. Now they're actually sort of integrating that onto the catwalk into some fashion. It's 12-inch micro LED panel, and it can stretch up to 14 inches. And it can be folded, moved without being damaged.
The videos are quite cool. It's obviously it's very much a demo vibe. But you can see the models like scrunching the screen in real time.
yeah, it looks cool. It does look cool. Again, I will put this on our social media because I feel like this is quite futuristic. But again, it reminds me of, so when I graduated in 2016, a lot of sort of up-and-coming fashion designers that were getting into wearable tech were using LEDs on their clothes. Now, they weren't part of the fabric like this. They were more just sort of inbuilt and then display little screens. But that lasted for about a year. It didn't really take off from a consumer standpoint. Is there a demand for the average consumer and the normal clothes wearer to have this type of display integrated in their clothes? I don't know. Does it look cool? Yeah. Could you use it for maybe runners, for example, at night? Maybe they have like a little band that lights up, or if you're cycling. I'm thinking of sports and like outdoor activities potentially.
Yeah.
To use this.
Yeah, caution.
Yeah.
Move slowly. Yeah.
Or at gigs as well, big concerts, you know how sometimes you get those like wristbands.
Yes.
And could you have light up t-shirts that do stuff in sync?
That would be incredible. Another random thought that I just had, could brands, you know how usually you've got the embroidered logo of the brand, so, you know, your Lacoste crocodile or whatever. What about in the future if that was a tiny screen and your logo was animated?
That's cool. I've just thought of something else as well, right? This is totally off field, but it would make sense. Bear with me. So I was talking to one of my co-workers yesterday who mentioned that like football matches and sports events like that, the advertising you see around the side of the stadium isn't actually there.
Gosh.
It's imposed on TV.
Yeah.
Could we see these LED screens being used for stuff like that?
Yeah.
Where you could have, I don't know why I'm giving advertisers free ideas here, but you could, if you can code these remotely, I don't know how, like, if you could put some sort of like internet like awareness on it or whatever, like, could you be changing what they have on the fly? Or like, if it's a live event and you're streaming from different countries around the world, could everyone be changing what advertiser they have on like someone's top, playing tennis? Like, do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, for sure.
When I first looked at this, I was a bit like, why am I going to use this? But now, in a world where there's adverts everywhere, for good or bad, it's not going to go, is it? That makes sense, as well as using it for like outdoor sports and trying to make yourself more visible.
Another really rogue application, which is also accurate for this time of year. Do you remember in Freshers where you'd have socials where you had like white t-shirt socials and you'd have to like fill in the back and be like, my name is this, I'm on this course, I live in these halls, blah, blah, blah. The student market could have a field day with these where you could do it, design it on your phone and you have, you know, an LED t-shirt party. Because also imagine a room full of those in a club. Like, it would look amazing.
Cool. But conferences as well, tech conferences, like even like in your office, instead of like wearing a name tag, you could just have like
you could put a QR code for your LinkedIn.
You could put do not disturb so no one talks to you.
Yeah, this is what I would have. I would have a hoodie with it on the back and then it would be like, currently coding, do not speak to me.
Leave me alone.
Only talk to me if there's a fire.
Right. I don't know if LG are in the smartwatch or the fitness industry right now, but imagine when you're in the zone, you're not looking at your watch or anything to see how your heart rate's doing, if your like temperature's elevated or anything like that. You could literally have part of your top that would like light up red, green, yellow or whatever, you know, to warn you what zone you're in.
Yeah.
And how hard you're working and stuff. Just a quick glance down, maybe for marathon runners and stuff like that, just to let them know how their body's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, I need to stop giving ideas away. We need to patent this stuff.
I think this is really cool. Again, we've seen a lot of development. It's been kind of like a slow process for this. Is it now that we're getting to the point where the technology is strong enough that it is going to be easily commercialized? Or have we still got a bit to go? Because there's been these stories for the past, 6-7 years where you hear about, oh, we've made a foldable screen, or, oh, we've made this transparent screen that you can stretch and blah, blah, blah. And then it kind of dies away again. So I'm interested. I'm not going to hold my breath. That's what I'm going to say. But I'm excited.
I think it's cool as well. And I think if they're at the point where they're sort of unveiling it to the public, I'm guessing that either they've got some ideas that they're going to start showing soon, or they're interested to see what people are going to reach out to them with to use it.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll listen to our podcast and listen to our cool ideas and be like, you know what, girls? I'm going to work.
Yes, please. All inquiries at Tech Girl Energy on Instagram. Thank you. Moving from that kind of very futuristic wearable technology to something that is on the market now and has been for the past couple of months, the Galaxy Ring.
Yeah, so it wasn't until recently I realised smart rings are a thing. And I think there's quite a popular one at the moment called the Aura. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
That people have been wearing. And Samsung have been getting into the market with their sort of Galaxy line. I've got a Samsung Galaxy S20. I am a big fan of Samsung, and I'm not gonna lie, I could be swayed by a ring. I always take off my watch to get to put it back on, but I feel like a ring is something that probably has more chance of staying on my body.
Yeah, so is essentially a fitness tracker. So if you imagine a smartwatch or a Fitbit, instead of it being on your wrist, it's a ring on your hand. It obviously, because of that, has less functionality because it's a ring. It doesn't have a screen. Yeah. It's limited by size, but it has an accelerometer, a gyro, a heart rate sensor, so it can track your fitness and health. It syncs with Samsung Health. It can track your sleep and your heart rate during your workouts.
Yeah, I'm just having a little look at it now, and it's obviously got Bluetooth as well, and apparently it can also identify gestures as well.
Talk to the hand.
So Galaxy Ring supports gestures. If your phone is operating One UI 6.1.1 or higher, you can dismiss alarms or take photos or videos simply by double pinching your fingers. I think that's probably where the slight game changer for someone like me is, because I hate having to go and find my phone to turn off an alarm. And also I do like taking a photo every now and then. If I can literally use my ring rather than having to use a timer or something, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I quite like the sound of this. I'm also a big fan of wearable tech that, we talked about this on last week's episode about the Snapchat spectacles. I really think you have to get the balance right between the wearable part of wearable technology. And I'm not just talking about can you physically wear it, but do you want to wear it? Like, does it match your aesthetic? Does it fit into your life? And I don't...
Your vibe.
Yeah, is it your vibe? I don't wear a smartwatch because I am an Apple girly and I don't like a square face. So I don't like the Apple Watches. Yeah. I had a Fossil smartwatch before, which looked really nice. It was a round face. It looked like quite a traditional automatic watch with little dials on the side, but they had limited functionality because it was obviously an Android device that I was then using with an iPhone. And it was quite big, so I wore it for a bit, but then I stopped wearing it. Whereas these Samsung rings, they're inobtrusive. Additionally, you can get them in 3 colours. You can get them in black, silver, or gold titanium. I'm a gold girly, so it's good to know that it would match my, my metal aesthetic as well. And I think that's really important to think about.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. And also, it comes in loads of different sizes now. They've just sort of announced that. I am looking at them, and again, we are saying that, function over form sometimes, but when it comes to wearable tech, you do want it to look cute. Now, the rings, considering their price point of £399, I think it said, they're very basic. To me, they're giving men's wedding ring. I don't know if that makes sense. As myself, I was about to say, as a female consumer, but let's not generalize it. I like cute things. Okay? Yeah. I like things looking cute. Now, what I would love to see is maybe if they partner up with someone like Swarovski and bring me something like sparkly and cute. Something that's not just this plain, bit of metal around my finger. Something that makes me take a second glance and double check, double take.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, exactly. I think it will be interesting how they do that, because the reason why we're talking about it this week is there's been a rumour that they are going to release new sizes. Obviously, this is good for consumers who have larger fingers. They currently only size up to US size 13, and there's a rumour that 14 and 15 are on the way. As someone who has big fingers, I'm happy to hear about this because a lot of the time I struggle with rings. But what they're saying is research has found that the larger rings last longer. So 12 to 13 sizes last for up to 7 days. Okay. The smaller sizes only last for 6. Reason why I'm bringing that up is if these are kind of chunky designs and they have to have a functional reason for that because of the sensors in them, the battery. If you wanted to shrink that for an aesthetic purpose, you're going to have to get the balance right between functionality and fashion.
I feel like that's always what happens with wearable tech, I was how we spoke about glasses last week. I mentioned briefly Google Glass, and I was talking to some people after that episode, and they were saying, well, part of the reason you had that clunky piece on the side was because of the battery. So a lot of the time it's not because places want their products to look ugly, I'm just going to say it. It's because they have to make it like that. But again, look at the old computers that we used to have. They were massive. Look what we've got now.
Yeah.
I think there'll just be iterations after iteration after iterations, and eventually we'll get small, cute, wearable tech pieces, ideally, fingers crossed. But I would still wear this ring as it is now. I'm not going to lie, like going back to the Chanel necklace, I probably wouldn't wear that.
Yeah.
Cute and as Chanel as it was, but I would wear this Samsung ring. Maybe Chanel need to make some rings. I don't know.
Or earrings that are also headphones. I don't know what that would look like, but they could try.
No, you caught my attention. That could look really cute. Yes.
Because I think one thing that I notice, loop headphones, the noise reduction earplugs.
Yeah.
They're not technology. They're not powered by electronics or anything. They're just earplugs, but they have high customization in terms of appearance. And when they're in your ear, they look, I think, from afar, like jewellery. Like they look like a daith piercing. So could people branch out into that where it looks like a piece of jewellery, but it's actually a headphone?
I think that is such a good shout, because I actually do wear loop headphones. I've got 2 pairs. I've got like a cute little green pair and a cute little blue pair. And they are nice, and I'm not going to lie, I did get drawn in by the way they look because I think there's definitely other players in the market, but sometimes you want them to look nice as well, right?
Yeah,
At the end of the day, it's going to be on your body. If I get something that looks cute as well as be functional, why not? Are we going to see loop headphones on the runway? But we would see, we definitely would potentially see earrings though. So that is a good shout.
Yeah. Well, if it happens, you heard it here first.
No, honestly, like if you compare to where the industry was 10 years ago to now, I think you can tell there's definitely been a massive, massive change. I think it's just going to get more and more popular the more sort of we as humans and as individuals integrate tech into our lives. Like, everyone loves tracking what they're doing these days as well. Like, everyone loves data. What's that whole thing? Like, what gets measured gets managed and all that. So if we can do that,
you could put that tagline on your customizable LG t-shirt.
Oh no, I feel like that needs to be for someone that works in like data analytics or something. Like,
well, I'm excited to see what, are we going to see more technology on future catwalks? All right, that's all we've got time for this week. Thank you for listening to Tech Girl Energy Weekly Debrief. If people want to find us on socials, Harriet, we've not mentioned it at all during this podcast,
but not at all.
But where can they go?
Literally, Tech Girl Energy, TikTok, Instagram. We've been posting YouTube shorts as well. Literally fire us off some reviews as well. Like, feel free to slide in the DMs and tell us what you did like, what you didn't. If you've got anything tech related that you've seen recently that we might be interested in talking about on the podcast, send it our way. We love reading that type of stuff.
Also, please leave us reviews on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts from. Give us a rating, give us a review. Thank you. See you next week.
This has been an I Am Listening exclusive podcast. For more information, head over to our website, im-listening.co.uk.